Hi guys, welcome to Sentimental Reviews here on YouTube and on Instagram, and today I have a Bath & Body Works review for you guys. We are going to be reviewing Cider Lane. So in Cider Lane, we have fragrance notes of warm caramel, Granny Smith apple, warm brown sugar, and ground clove. So before I even get to what I got on Cold Sniff, I was very hesitant in purchasing this online. And I didn't purchase this online. But when I saw the fragrance notes, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like this. And not only that, I'm not a fan of hot cider. So I live in Florida. I don't even think I've ever had hot cider. I've only had cold pressed cider that you get at the grocery store, which I love. But just something about the idea of a hot apple drink just doesn't sit right with me. So that's why I was like, I feel like it's going to remind me of a hot apple drink, and I just didn't want to purchase this online. But then I went to my store and I traded my apple crisp apple that was a huge dud for this candle. So I was like, okay, let me just give it a try, because it didn't smell that bad on Cold Sniff, but I'm like, you know what, let's give it a try. So on Cold Sniff, I detected that apple, but the apple was kind of tart, and we'll get to that as it's burning or whatever. But I was like, okay, let me just give it a try. I didn't detect the clove a lot, but I just got a warm apple fragrance with a little bit of caramel. So I started burning this, and when I started burning this, I'm like, okay, I actually like this. It's not that bad, and I started to really like it. So while this is burning, this is a very tart apple type of fragrance. So you get that tart, crisp Granny Smith, not a cooked apple. It's more like a crisp Granny Smith tart apple, right? Very tart. But then you get that brown sugar to sweeten it up. You get that caramel. And for me personally, the caramel is not smelling burnt to me, to my nose. And usually that does happen with Bath & Body Works fragrances, but I don't know what's going on with this fragrance. It's not smelling scorched or burned whatsoever so far. I've only reached the halfway mark. That might change. But so far, I haven't had any issues with this candle. It's not my favorite apple fragrance or anything like that. My favorite apple fragrance so far this year has been Honeycrisp Apple, in terms of a fresh, crisp apple. And in terms of a cooked apple, I would say Apple Truffle from Caramel Sundae. So those are my top two apple fragrances so far this year. And if we're being honest, I don't think anything can top those two fragrances. But this is a nice fragrance. I do get that caramel. I don't think this is cloyingly sweet, okay, compared to their afternoon apple picking. And I thought this would have been a little bit more on the sweeter end because of that caramel and dark brown sugar note, but I think this is truly well balanced. In terms of strength and performance, I haven't had any issues. I would say that this is a solid 8 in my open concept living area. I can detect it everywhere. But again, in my perspective, I don't think this is overly sweet. I don't think I would purchase this again, mainly because I do want to purchase Caramel Sunday's version of this, which is called Fall Cider, and I do think I will like that more than this. But again, I wasn't going to purchase Fall Cider unless I kind of knew what Cider Lane smelled like, and now that I purchased this, I'm like, okay, I think I kind of can get on board with a tart, caramelly cider type of fragrance. And I'm glad that I did try this. Let me just show you the wicks here. I think they're healthy wicks. Surprisingly, all of the candles that I've bought from Fall 2, except for Apple Crisp, haven't given me that much of an issue, especially with this colored wax. I thought I was going to have more issues with this colored wax, but thankfully I haven't. Again, I know that a lot of people are getting a scorched smell. I'm hoping that it doesn't get to that point, but I'm only up to here, and I think a lot of people are smelling that scorchness like below here. So again, that might change. I'll update it in the comments below if it does change, but this is not my favorite fragrance at all. I really like it. On my scale of liking this, I would probably give this a 7 out of 10. You know, I wouldn't repurchase this because I know Caramel Sundays has a cleaner version. So I'm glad that I did purchase this. This introduced me to the hot cider type of fragrance. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you purchased this, let me know. If you got this candle and it's smelling sports to you, also let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is just a quick short review since I know a lot of people have this candle accessible to them. Thank you again so much for watching. Hit a like, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.